So above 55 again, because of the heart related trouble, we like to control the disease properly. We start with the medical management only. The whole duration of the therapy should be 1 to 1.5 years. At the end of this treatment also, if a patient is still on needing antithyroid drugs in large doses, it means that this is one of those 10% of the patients who do not respond perfectly or completely to the drug therapy. So in that case, we can consider radioiodine therapy. And if somehow the disease is under control and antithyroid drugs are stopped now, then we give it some chance. Most often these patients remain euthyroid. That is, they tend to have normal thyroid function all through their life. Very rarely, then they would have a recurrence. Again, we can try with the drug therapy, but in that case, if they are not responding or they keep on needing 3 tablets per day for the antithyroid drugs, then they are the candidate for radioiodine therapy or a surgery. If there is a huge goiter, then the obvious answer is surgery, or if there is not much of a goiter, then the radioiodine therapy. So some patients with thyroid are very, very sensitive to minutest possible changes in the dose also. Like previously people used to do 100, then 75, then the new strength came into the market, which was 88. But this is a typical scenario where patient needs a dose between 88 and 100, somewhere in between. And this is again not very uncommon. Often what we do is that in a week we reduce half tablet of 100. So that effectively brings your dose to 94 microgram per day, which is totally crazy for even most doctors and physicians to understand that what is the meaning. I often receive calls from other doctor, Dr. Apurva, what is this? What is the meaning of daily 100 and half on Sunday? I'm like, yeah, they need to feel something like it's a Sunday, less of a dose. So jokes apart, these are the patients where you need to do very fine tuning of the dose. And somewhere in between we always keep on adjusting, and TSH is the level. TSH tells you that I need more or less. So it is your body is deciding the dose, not you or me. So if it's going high, then you have to increase slightly more than 88. Again, other factors need to be accounted. You have to be very regular with the medication. A gap of 30 minutes is a must. Any gap less than that might again affect and do your TSH go up and down, up and down. And you should not ideally have lot of water with the tablet. Only one sip of water should be allowed. Yeah, so the same reasons, if it is not diagnosed, then for first 3 months, the baby apparently might be a very normal child, but this thyroxine hormone has been deficient in this baby during that organogenesis period, and thyroid hormone is necessary for your brain tissue development, neuronal development, synaptic junction development. So in several studies, they have found out that the IQ wise, these children are little less than the otherwise it would have been born to a euthyroid. Again, the major issue happens when the mother remains hypothyroid throughout pregnancy and is never diagnosed, but yet these children do fairly well. So but ideally, we are doing everything for the, nowadays we have only one child and we are doing everything best for the baby, and this is one of the diseases which are diagnosed very easily, and the treatment is absolutely simple and easy. So that's why we should ideally go for the checking before conceiving. But in case if it is not diagnosed for first 3 months, 5 months, etc., you should still the pregnancy would still be viable and still be a normal, just that you have to overstimulate these children after birth. That is, neonatal stimulation. You can look up into it for the development of the baby, showing visual stimuli, auditory stimuli. Normally what we do, ye suna, wo dikhao, that you have to do more intensively, so that because the brain growth keeps on happening, 90% of the brain develops till the age of 2 years. So during this time also, if you take a proper care, the child would be good, but may not be as intelligent as it would have been otherwise, considering because again this IQ and stuff is ultimately genetic, and the parental this thing, all those factors come into play.
Yes. So, I mean, all prenatal examinations, ideally, in your first prenatal visit, we do get thyroid levels checked. So, that is a great checkpoint. And if you're aware of the fact that anyone in your family, like your blood relatives,
Correct,
or
correct.
you have had a disorder, just talk about it to your doctor and get it checked.